This trading strategy has over 100 trades tested. It's a 1 to 2 minimum risk reward ratio, but a lot of the times it'll run past that. 1 to 6, 1 to 10s are possible. It has 70 to 80% win rate. Again, my name is Tony. I've taught over 40 people how to day trade profitably and consistently. I've created a strategy that combines ICT concepts with Wyckoff methodology and supply and demand. I've turned people from their jobs and taught them how to make 100,000 to 200,000 a year just by trading alone, 1 to 2 trades a day, and sometimes using swings and penny swings as well. So I trade 3 different ways, which is not for everybody, but I do have 3 profitable ways of trading. And I'm sure that at least one of them is going to fit your trading style. If you're tired of being unprofitable or want to learn how to day trade or trade stocks in general, I can teach you how to have a whole community of people that are currently trading with me and have learned the style that I trade. A lot of the times I put out calls and shout outs to what I'm trading and how I'm trading. So if you have any questions about this video or any of the terminology that I use or anything that I just talked about, but for now, I'm going to show you the strategy for absolutely free and you don't have to do anything. Thanks for watching. Reaccumulation, then I will proceed to look for the mitigation of it. Because this is a high time frame, 4 hours, it's probably going to take a year or half a year to get to this point. So I'll probably take counter trend trades down to the downside, meaning I will look into the lower time frames like 1 minute or the seconds chart once it reaches these levels, signs of a distribution with manipulation, hopefully fake out, and it'll mitigate. But if I'm example, I'm not going to be taking entries off of the mitigation of our distribution. I'll instead the trade off of the mitigation of the redistro and try to get a 0.5 or 0.8 entry to the downside, and then I would target something like 0.5s right here or 0.8s right here. I'll then look for a lower time frame, 1 minute, 5 minute, seconds charts. I'll look for something like an accumulation with, and then I'll take the trade off the mitigation by itself, because 5, then I take that trade, or the 0.8 and I take that trade, because that is with the trend. But if it's counter trend, I want to wait and confirm that the market structure has shifted, and it just gives me a higher, it's a filter. It gives me a higher probability of winning that trade. So that's the Wyckoff way of trading, supply and demand, economics and whatnot. I'll just do it for you right now, but 3 minutes, you see bearish gap right here. So not only did we have these 2 big levels of rejection waiting nearby, but we also had this large 3 minute fair value gap. Well, it ends up that we see signs of strength coming out of a accumulation and a reaccumulation, and we break through with a lot of strength, and we end up sweeping past these liquidity draws, where I believe people would probably enter the market as onto liquidity, right? So this is a liquidity draw. It passed through and started to consolidate up here after New York open. I thought maybe what we're trying to do is reject off of these bearish gaps right here. This 3 minute bearish gap that I was just talking about. So maybe what we'll do is reject off of Asian lows. Asian lows, and send our way up to the high of this, or somewhere in the middle where we will meet supply if demand starts to diminish. I knew today was a little bit of a riskier day. I'm kind of sitting on my hands a little bit, trying to understand where to go. Some people probably, I don't know, probably maybe bought right here and took the trade up, but that's just a little too risky for me, especially since we're sitting in a bearish gap. So I see that it comes up above the bearish gap and comes down. So it was looking to inverse this gap, but it didn't. On the 3 minute chart, it ends up being a very large rejection candle. Okay, well, once that happened, I noticed that we formed a 3 minute gap, bullish gap right here, and a 15 minute bullish gap right here as well. There was a lot of support going on at this point. Not only do we have Asian low as a support, but we also have the 15 minute bullish gap and the 3 minute bullish gap. So right now I'm open to both sides. I'm open to both either all-time highs, or maybe we'll be coming down lower just because of the news. What we end up doing is we come down to this 3 minute gap and reject pretty hard. After that rejection, I was, as always, switching between my time frames, but large rejection. And then we end up consolidating just a little bit and it comes down. I'm seeing a lot of signs of demand because, as you can see, it's coming back and forth. And if supply was very strong at this point, then it probably would have had some strength, right? So obviously we're going to meet some resistance at this Asia low and this 3 minute gap and this 15 minute gap. So already I'm thinking probably going to take a long. Price comes down. It doesn't meet the gap yet, but ends up showing very large signs of demand. Demand comes up, hits this bearish gap right here, rejecting off of it. But it also creates a 1 minute gap right here. So this 1 minute gap forms, and I see the first rejection, 1 rejection. I see 2 rejections, 2 rejections, and then I see a 3rd rejection. Now, here's the thing. Yes, we had this bearish gap right here, this 1 minute bearish gap, but think about all the signs of demand that we just saw. We saw demand pose itself right here during this consolidation. It didn't even have enough supply to come down and test this gap anymore, or this or the line below. So obviously we were bullish, and there was a lot of demand. And not only that, but we reacted to this 1 minute gap. So if we try to inverse this gap 3 times and we have not been able to, I'm going to place my bets. Now, there's a chance I'm wrong, but I'm going to place my bets that we are going to go at least to Asia highs. And we end up hitting full TP. So full TP happens. Just a beautiful trade. Lots of patience exercise. I really wanted to show that to you guys.